Welcome everyone to DRC Tier 2. It's round 4 and we race around COTA. We're powered by Milestone. I'm joined once again by Deflink10. Deflink, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Mackie. How are you doing?
Um, I could be doing better. I won't go into why, but could be doing better. That's for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mackie realized that he's not 75 years old today, and it's made him really depressed. So
Yeah, that's certainly what's happened, you know.
it's a weird thing to be depressed about, man. Come on, you still got your life ahead of you.
Yep.
Think on the positives. Like we're racing around one of the best circuits that Helmut has ever created,
I,
the um, the COTA Grand Prix.
Circuit of the Americas. I'd say arguably one of the best tracks on the F1 calendar.
I really like COTA. Really
Um,
like COTA.
that's a black screen. Oh no, we're back. It's all good.
It takes a minute or two, yeah. So we actually have a full grid today. 20 drivers ready to compete for your entertainment, everyone watching. And we had a pretty good race in Canada last time out, didn't we? It was actually quite good.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen worse. That's all that can really be said. I've seen worse.
I've seen not as many safety cars
True,
as
true.
we've had in the last two races. So maybe they've all learned from their lessons and we can have a nice clean race.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously what we want, but we'll see what happens around here. This track has definitely got some areas that can cause problems, especially going uphill into turn one. Your braking zone is very different compared to most circuits. Car gets slowed down a bit going up the hill, but yeah,
It, it that turn one was actually created by Helmut. He literally moved the Earth to create that turn one.
I, I I did hear that it's built on an artificial mound. It's not
That's
natural
why
geography.
that's why it gets so bumpy
Yeah,
because of the
just
because
collapsing.
underground gets unsettled and collapses. Yeah. So in hindsight, Tilka, it was a great idea, but
It's a great idea that was executed poorly.
yeah, like most Helmut Tilke circuits, he made Las Vegas, and I think that's all you need to know
Let me
about him.
guess, he made Madrid as well, didn't he?
He did. He did, unsurprisingly. Did design Madrid as well.
Right, of course he did. How did I
Uh,
guess that?
he
Hmm.
designed Saudi Arabia. He designed Sochi.
So
Designed.
is Kota the only track that he's designed that was actually good?
No, he made Malaysia and China,
Oh, okay,
uh,
okay.
and Turkey.
And
So he
Turkey.
has made good circuits, but again, he's made stuff like Vietnam, which we never even got to race on. Um,
Good thing too, I think. Um,
yeah, no, that track was it was. I quite enjoyed driving it in the F1 game, but it would have been a horrendous race. It would have
uh-huh.
been absolutely nothing. I think he also made Miami, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Okay,
made
what
Catalunya.
modern F1 circuit was not created by him? It's the silence, it says it all.
Qatar.
Qatar, that was made for MotoGP, so
So technically, yeah, I don't know the last circuit that was added to the F1 calendar that wasn't designed by Tilke. Um,
I
no, I
feel like this
think
is something we Google and add to the.
Korea and India were made by Tilke as well.
Oh my god, of course they were. Okay, so does he just have the official title of F1 circuit design? Let me guess, Abu Dhabi was made by him as well, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
It was made by
yeah.
him. Yes. The Tilke track design is large, long straights, but wide, heavy braking zones, and twiddly middle sectors, and like long flowing right-handers, like this one that Juno is demonstrating here. That it's a long right-hander that goes into a left. Um, Helmut Tilke just has a hard-on for like long straights
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
and like wide tracks as well. Like Malaysia is like super wide. Like I think I remember what everyone was saying when they first went there. They were actually amazed at how wide the track was.
Oh, and that's a spin from bloody Chen at the pit entrance. Going out to the final corner. Reverse on the track. They almost hit a McLaren. It was looking to be a pretty good lap until the spin there right at the end.
That's a shame for bloody Chen. I'm sure he's got more than enough time to go again. As right now we have Juno, who's on provisional pole, as we say in the business. We got a few drivers who are looking to get themselves up towards the front of the grid. It's very cloudy here in COTA. Not very sunny at all.
No, consider it's in Texas. This is a pretty rare occurrence. I'd have to say.
Yeah, Texas, obviously the biggest state in America.
No, it's Alaska, isn't it?
Is that a state?
Yes.
Is Alaska bigger than Texas? Really?
I'm convinced it is.
Shall I Google it?
I could be wrong. Please Google it.
Google it.
Prove me wrong. But I'm sure it's Alaska.
Also, Striker and Thunderbox went first and second, respectively, by very little margins.
See TMC now across the line, 133.7. That puts him into 6th in that Williams. Again, I mean, I was seeing a pretty strong showing already from Williams, and McLaren being beaten by Thunder Fox and the Avatar of Juno right now. So we will have to see what happens. But I think what is the title battle looking like right now? I know you're Googling Alaska versus Texas.
Alaska.
Yeah, I did think so.
In terms of total area, it's Alaska, but Texas has more people in it.
Well, yeah, Alaska's a bit cold for people, to be honest.
Now, obviously, Alaska's first and then Texas second, but what is third?
Wyoming.
No, Wyoming is 10th. It's California. That's,
of course it's California. You keep asking these. You keep making me look stupid on
What's the smallest state?
Oh, that's got to be like Rhode Island.
Oh, you're right. It is Rhode Island. It's the 50th state. There is like a few under it, but they're not states. Like there's Guam and like American Samoa and the Virgin Islands. But technically the smallest state is Rhode Island. So well done. 10 points.
I don't know why I knew that, but I did. So
just one of those random facts that some like it's one of those things. Do you ever question that you know a random fact like that? Like I know, like I've always known a lot about like recently I've learned a lot about like older F1 facts. Like I'll just pull out a random fact from somewhere that when we're racing. Like here in Austria, I can remember not in Austria, in Austin, I can remember Max getting a penalty for overtaking Kimi on the last lap because he cut the corner and lost his podium. I think that was back in 2017.
Yeah, you see, you remember that, but I don't.
Yeah.
I
But my point is, how much stuff have I forgotten to remember those kind of facts?
You do have to wonder how much of your education has been lost.
Because I don't remember like
what is going on in turn 1
with Pockets and the Haas. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. But Pockets was trying to avoid that someone going out of turn 1. But yeah, like I mean, I can't remember like Pythagoras theorem.
Well, that's just a squared plus b squared equals c squared, is it not?
See, like you remember it. But in the future, when you've got to remember random F1 facts, you'll have to forget all that.
Oh, I don't think I'm ever going to forget that one. I don't think I actually used it on my GCSEs at all.
Well, I don't think you've ever... Have you ever used it in real life?
No.
No, exactly.
I don't think it's ever come up.
It's the most pointless thing in the world. So what I'm trying to tell you, everyone, is don't study your GCSEs because they're pointless.
For legal reasons, stay in school. Do your GCSEs. Pay attention in maths class. Don't sue us.
And if you do sue us, please send all complaints to Edgin.
Yeah.
Because then we're not in trouble for it. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Understood.
The manager gets in trouble, not the worker.
Exactly. That's how it works. That's how it works.
And so
But
before we do put anyone off revising their GCSEs, please revise your GCSEs.
yes, please do.
It's mostly
Unless you
important.
don't want to, then don't do that. Yeah, we're not saying you should do that. We're just saying you can do that.
We should really get off this before we actually get cancelled or something.
It's fine. What are they going to do? Cancel me?
I'm sure you've been cancelled already, to be honest.
Cancel culture's a lie. Don't listen to it, everyone.
I'm sure I just had a lesson in college about cancel culture.
It's one of the most ridiculous things. What is it actually achieving?
I mean, it's worked on 2 occasions.
It worked. It worked on people that have actually done something cancel worthy. But it also ruins other people's careers in stuff that they haven't been cancel worthy.
Yeah,
It's got upsides and downsides.
it does.
I know this is the Formula One stream, but it's cute. It's a qualifying session where we're waiting for the last minutes of qualifying to happen.
I mean, this is it. I don't know how, like, Crofty and that keep excitement through all of quali. It's like, I'm just waiting for the final runs, which will be the next set. You know?
Yeah, well, you got to remember that Crofty's on, like, probably a load of caffeine when he starts doing the races.
Oh,
And also,
that's what
let's
I
be
forgot
honest,
to
he's
drink.
actually
I forgot to drink.
commentating real F1.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot to drink a energy drink. I won't name the brand because we're not sponsored, but you know. But if an energy drink brand does want to sponsor us, the one that's got an F1 team, please feel free. We'll happily take it.
What, Coke?
Sure.
I'd be sponsored by Diet Coke. It's
No.
the real thing.
How about
$50
the
million they paid me for that.
50 million?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Ronaldo who lost him a bunch of money?
Yeah.
Saying
The
water's
the
better
story
or
goes
something.
that he picked up a Coke thing and then he moved it away and said H2O or something. And then like apparently Coke lost a bunch of their stocks because Ronaldo said that. But I don't know how true that actually is.
Well, I mean, the stock market definitely dropped. That bit was actually true.
Yeah,
but
it could have been on underlying factors.
Oh yeah, 100%. But you never know. Wilton there, fastest sector 1.
Ronaldo doesn't need another ego boost in his career. He just let him live his life. Wilton, unfortunately, does need an ego boost as he just invalidated lap time.
Well, that is unfortunate. I think he has enough time to go again.
He should do. But yeah, unfortunately, invalidation is not exactly what you want to be seeing early on in this session. Sorry, I'm not yawning because it's boring. I'm just very tired.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty tired too. My sleep schedule has been amazing this week. But it also means I'm waking up early, which means at this time of night I start to get tired.
Yeah, my sleep schedule is just horrendous all the time. I had work this morning at 7, and I went to bed at like 3 or 4 a.m.
How are you like alive? And I say that, but
well, I got up at 6 a.m. as well, so
the amount of Sunday nights in a row going into Monday, I just didn't sleep at all. Was like really bad. I think it like 3 weeks in a row I just didn't sleep.
Thing is, if I was sensible, I would actually go to sleep early because weekends are my busiest days.
Yeah.
Because I do work Saturday, Sunday, and I do this in the evening on Saturday. And on Sundays, I do a race and a commentary.
Yeah, that is rather busy.
It is. Striker Boy's been busy on that last lap. Goes provisional pole with a 132.7. First driver into the 132s.
Indeed. Very, very good lap from Striker Boy. And I wonder if, as we go into the final 4.5 minutes here, we'll start seeing drivers come out for their final runs. I wonder how much track evolution is going to play a part, because obviously it's still overcast. The track isn't going to be warm, even though we're in Texas. I think it's going to depend a lot on how much rubber's been put down over the last few laps by all these drivers.
Yes, it will very much determine that factor. A lot of people are in the pit still. I'm surprised that no one else A lot of people trying to do out of sync laps, which I find a bit odd. But 4 minutes to go, as you mentioned. Not long now until we get our final runs of qualifying. Maybe we'll have a wet race like we did in Tier 1.
We might. I hope not. We've had enough wet races already this season. Like
We have, and it's, you know, we shouldn't have it.
the first two were wet. You know, that's enough for the entire season.
Yeah, if they're wet like dry, it's fine. But
Do you want to? Like,
Jesus.
okay, stop yawning, then finish your sentence. I think.
I was saying
Probably
that
best.
it's fine if it's wet dry or dry wet, but the fact that it was just wet was the issue.
Yeah. And then you end up with like 600 safety cars then.
Yeah, exactly. Exactamundo.
So as we're watching Corny's lap right now, going through the very, very tight corner. I don't know what its corner number is. I haven't counted them. But
it's one of them.
Through the hairpin now. It's looking good. That was a good hit on the apex. Very quick on the gears as well. Go through the section. I hate this section of track. Like,
oh, Helmut Tuchel loves them, so they're on all of his circuits.
oh, and that's going to be an invalidation for Corny there.
Corny.
Really off the track. Can't even argue that one.
That was sloppy.
It was.
Wouldn't have mattered. He wouldn't have improved this time anyway. But there are people coming out for their last laps of qualifying. Thunderfox, who is in second right now, is out on the lap. Juno is on an out lap as well. A few people yet to come out of the pit lane. Maybe they're not coming out for another lap.
I mean, it's
Maybe they're waiting.
It's a 1:35 lap at a fast lap, so you're going to want to be coming out now. It's kind of your last chance if you want to get a good out lap.
Yeah, TMC's out as well. Wilton's just coming out now. So.
And Captain Kami hasn't come out at all. Is that a qualifying ban? I wasn't given a rundown this week, so
sorry everyone, we don't have the rundown.
So I'm not entirely sure if that's a qualifying ban. If someone does have the information, yes, it is. Okay, good to know. We have an Aston Martin stopped at the end of the S's. Not sure what that was about, but Pocket set a 1:34.0 not too long ago. As we see a bunch of people now starting their laps as I go on with Fawaz, who has been having a pretty good season so far. I would have to say.
Yeah, they have. They have been having a good season. Oh, I was meant to check the title battle, wasn't I? That's what I was doing.
Oh, yeah. I asked you to do that. I just completely forgot I asked you to do that.
So current leader of the driver's standings is Fawaz on 48 points, followed by Striker on 39, and then followed by TMC on 30.
So there's already a bit of separation at the front. Not
There
much,
is,
of course.
But not a huge amount. 10 points is the swing, could be. And then in terms of constructors, McLaren's still on top with 74, but closely followed by Williams on 69. Nice. And then followed by Red Bull on 39.
That is a huge gap.
Yeah, there's a 30-point gap between basically third and first.
So Thunderfox and Pockets here will be trying to maybe gain back a little bit of ground there. But I think
Judo's abandoned lap.
Potentially.
They're not going to make it for. They're not going to make it to the line.
Fawaz is currently 3/10 up, so that's going to put him third as things currently stand. Juno has had to go into the pit lane. That is Juno's qualifying over with a best time of a 1:33.3 in third position. Fawaz is in the final sector now, going through the last few corners. Definitely a driver to watch, title contender, and has invalidated.
On the inside as well, Kimarai puts it second on the grid. A new challenger approaches, second on the grid there.
So we currently got
only just started his lap.
Wilton out there. We've got Thunderfox out there. Perryland, I believe, is also on a lap.
Splatbeef's just gone 6th.
Splatbeef has just gone 6th. TMC is on a lap, but is slightly down. This is going to be very interesting to see who's going to come out on top. Striker Boy's time right now looking very, very solid. we go through the final sector now. I believe Ferrari's about to come across the line. We'll see what time gets set there. That is going to be a non-improvement from Kurumi in 15th. So
Wilton's 2/10 up in the middle sector.
TMC
Keep an eye
next
on him.
across the line, next in the final corner. The lap is looking good. It's 8th position. And Thunder Fox is able to do second. 1:32.8 beats Kimi Rise 1:32.9. I believe next across the line is going to be Perryland. Let's see. He's currently 1/10 up on the previous lap. It's going to be across the line for 1:33.5, non-improvement. And Wilton there goes 4th, beats up Juno with a 1:32.9. I believe that is going to be your grid. It's going to be Striker Boy followed by Thunder Fox and Kimi Rai for your top 3. Then Wilton, Juno, Splatby, Fawaz, TMC, Perryland and Mick Schumacher 10th. Oliver, Pockets, LDW, RZN, Sniper, Kurumi, your top 15. Then Racing Mouse, Bloody Chen, Corny, Dr. Fails, top 19. And Captain Kami starting at the back with a qualifying ban.
Well, looks like an interesting grid. Kim Rai up there as well. Could be interesting. We're just waiting for Mick to be wielded back into the pits. And then that will be the end of qualifying. So just give it a minute. There we go. So as you said, there is your final grid. Thunderfox missing out on pole by 44 thousandths of a second from Kimmerai, and then Wilton, Juno, Splatbeef, Fawaz, TMC, Perryland, and Mick round out your top 10. A second separate the top 10, and only 6/10 separate the top 9.
Indeed, that is very, very impressive indeed. The entire grid separated by 3.5 seconds. So I think we're in for potentially a very good race here. Of course, parts of this track are very difficult to get right. You get them wrong, and you get them very wrong. Like the S's, for example. You get one of them slightly wrong, your line throughout all of them is messed up completely. And so you can lose multiple seconds just by going very slightly offline.
Exactly. So, we have a race. And it looks like it's sunny.
It does indeed look like it's sunny. This is going to be interesting. I wonder if we've got sunny for the whole race or if we're going to get a bit of rain later on. I mean, we are in Texas, so we shouldn't get rain. But we've said that about Qatar before, and I'm sure we have rain. So
That's true.
You know,
it can happen.
It can
Anything can happen in motorsport.
It can. And as we just wait for the drivers to get their setups out, any predictions going into this race, Deflink?
I think we're going to have at least a safety car.
At least a safety car? That is a very solid prediction to make.
Bold, I think. Brave and bold. And I think we'll have... I think we're going to see McLaren's battle with the Williams this race. But I think we're going to see some... Maybe the Haas get involved as well. Of not Perryland, sorry, of Kami, but we got us Kimmerai, sorry, Kimmerai got it in the end. And we have a formation lap here where we can have a look at the tyre information. A mix of tyres up and down the grid.
We do have a solid mix of tyres, so Striker Boy and Thunder Fox are going to sit on the medium tyres, and Kimirai, despite being up in third, has opted for the hard tyres, which is only replicated by Racing Mouse down in 16th position. And then you got Wilton on the mediums. Both AlphaTauri is going to start on the softs. Fawaz and TMC will be on the mediums. Both Aston Martins and Oliver will be on softs. Pockets, LDW and Sniper will be on the mediums. Then Kurumi on the softs. Bloody Chen will go on the mediums along with Corny. And then the bottom two will be on the softs. So this could be very interesting, especially depending on when the first safety car comes out.
Well, exactly. That is what we got to think about. Maybe they're expecting an early safety car, or maybe they're thinking that the softs are going to help them get off the line quickly, which of course they will, but they will probably wear out a lot. So I am looking forward to this race.
Striker Boy has not been slow on this formation lap. He's already pretty much halfway through the circuit. It's not been that long, so see if everyone else is able to get any heat into their into their tyres, ready for the start. I think the biggest one to watch here is Kimirai and how Kimirai is going to be able to get away from the grid in that Haas, especially on those hard tyres. See if it works out for them. I'm not convinced it will. This is a very tyre-intensive circuit, especially going through the first and second sector. So we'll see how.
It's gonna be difficult.
Yeah, so we will see how that plays out. I think these medium starters potentially have the best start, but don't rule out those AlphaTauri starting on the softs there in 5th and 6th.
Yep, keep an eye on the Alphas, because they are also in the battle for the constructors as well, and also in the drivers' standings as well. Juno could get himself a bit closer. Of course, he's not going to really close the gap, but of course, there's still a lot of rounds to go in the championship, and any sort of retirements or anything could change up this race. So here we go, everyone is starting to reform on the grid. Striker Boy will take pole, will take his position on pole, and followed by Thunder Fox on the right hand side. And here we go, Paralan gets disqualified because he couldn't park properly, and so does Racing Mouse. And we're waiting just for Captain Kami to form up at the back of the grid. But here we go for your 5 red lights here at COTA. And we're underway for the Grand Prix here in Texas as we race up into turn 1. Striker Boy leading Thunder Fox into turn 1. It looks like we're going to try and go around the outside there. A little tap as we go into turn 1. Striker Boy leads Kimirai, Thunder Fox, Juno getting a good start on those soft tyres ahead of both McLarens at the start of this race, followed by Wilton, Fawaz, Splatbeef, TMC, Oliver and Paralan as the soft runners we expected did get off the line well. The Astons are battling it out, but Juno is the biggest gainer at the start of this Grand Prix.
Indeed, nose on the soft tyres, looking very, very competitive right now. They're making moves. Aston Martin of Paralan's just got past Oliver, going through a very tight section of circuit, going into the hairpin now, and that's going to be Paralan making up another move on TMC. These soft runners have so much more pace compared to the medium runners right now.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that the softs are fired up. We tend to see this at the start of Grand Prix, but of course they will be dropping off as we get further and further into this race. Great start from Kimirai as well. On those hard tyres, actually made a position up into 2nd place ahead of Thunderfox, who just didn't get the best of launches off the line. Did get a little tap in turn 1 as well by Striker Boy, but I think that was not on purpose, as now looks like the McLarens swapping places here. For Waz allowed to go through on Wilton. Let's hope the McLarens don't battle out too hard. They'll need to really focus on trying to push themselves further up the grid, especially with the AlphaTauris and the Williams of Striker Boy leading this Grand Prix. TMC not had the best start. He's already in 11th, as we're going to see Juno make the move into turn 1, and he's ahead of Kimirai. And we have a safety car here on lap 2, as it looks like Mr. Corney is out at the final corner.
It does look that way, and I do have to wonder if the Ferrari of Captain Kami was potentially involved in that. I'm not entirely sure what's happened, but we do have a safety car here on lap 2 of the US Grand Prix. I think I can call it that. I don't actually know which one's the US Grand Prix anymore, but
it is a US Grand Prix.
It is a US Grand Prix. It might still be Austin that gets the title of US Grand Prix, but
maybe.
You know, I mean, I hope so. It's the only one on a permanent circuit, so.
Well, yeah, that is the good thing. It's actually a well-designed track as well.
It is. I think
yeah,
we've gone through that already. I don't think it needs repeating, you know. We'll be here all day if we do that.
Yeah, we literally will be here all day discussing their circuits. Maybe we'll discuss them on a different form at some point.
Hey, I mean, you never know.
We rate Helmut Tilke circuits on some sort of tier list.
And I'm not really sure what to talk about during the safety car. I talked about a lot during qualifying. I feel like we should have saved it.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, safety cars, just you really don't get a lot of options to talk about stuff, especially early on, because drivers are not going to be making their pit stops this early. So
You say that as we see Juno dive into the pit lane.
getting rid of those soft tyres must be putting on the mediums.
In fact, most of the soft runners appear to be pitting now. Not liking them, I guess.
Well, maybe they just wanted they used to start. Remember, if they do swap now, that is their mandatory pit stop done as well. Which technically means they can go to the end of the race on these tyres.
But Mylander there had no speed at all as Striker Boy caught up and almost ended up in the back of the safety car. So
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
yeah.
Don't hit Burt Mylander. He won't be very happy.
Yeah, and it probably should have been rolling before they reached him. But hey, you know, he's a safety car driver. He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. He's a professional.
How long has he been a safety car driver?
Longer than my arm. I don't know. He's been a long time.
I'm gonna Google it just because.
Go for it. We've got nothing else to talk about.
Let's see. Let's see. He's been doing it for longer than I've been alive.
Nice. Good to know. But you're 75 years old.
Yeah, he's clearly been doing it a really long time then. Or we've time traveled. Who knows?
Maybe we're time travelers from the future.
Indeed. That's why we're sat here commentating and not you know.
Yeah, we know who's going to win this race.
Yeah.
Because we've already seen it happen.
Yeah, we just can't say because that'd break the timeline and it would
Yeah, and then the universe would collapse.
the universe would collapse. So hopefully safety car will be in this lap as the entire grid is now reformed. And we don't have to sit here awkwardly having these conversations, you know.
Oh god.
I mean, it's got to be kind of fun to drive the safety car.
I've always thought that it could be quite fun. I guess he's got his foot down like constantly. He has to go quite fast.
Yeah, I mean it is also a top spec AMG car, so you know.
Yeah, Mercedes.
Or Aston Martin at some races, but
yes.
I
Depends.
wonder if it's street legal.
Is it? Maybe. It's a good question, actually.
Like, if we just threw some number plates on it, would it be street legal? You know.
Yes.
I'm sure Google has the answer somewhere, but
I'm sure it does, but
I can't be bothered to look it up.
oh, that would require effort.
As we come up to the sector line now, we should have our answer about whether the safety car's in this lap. And it is going to be a... Yes, the safety car will be in this lap. And we can finally get this race underway again. I can't even speak English anymore. It's the only language I know. It's not great. So, will Striker Boy hold them off for as long as possible, or will he go early? Only time will tell as we wait. Here, Striker Boy becomes the effective safety car. We won't have DRS for a few more laps, which is kind of unfortunate. I'd quite like to see it. We've got 2 very nice DRS zones on this circuit.
Well, we didn't even get DRS on the first one. Let's hopefully get it on the second attempt. We've already had my prediction of we're going to have a safety car.
But will we have more than one? And as we go around the final corner now, Striker Boy is going to lead them away. It looks like he's gone for it. He hasn't really caught Kimirai too far off guard, but there was a yellow flag in the final corner already. It looks to be resolved. As we go to turn one, Kimirai not got the grip to make it. Striker Boy sliding around just a little bit. And it looks like everyone's made it through the first corner intact, as we see a few overtakes happening. Dr. Fails losing a couple of positions. So we now go through the S's at Aston Martin, very close to the back of that. McLaren there for 5th position. Obviously not able to make a move. The S is very, very dangerous. And Def, I think they did well there.
Yep, everyone sort of kept it to themselves and didn't really make any huge mistakes. Yeah, it looks like some of the soft tyres are already struggling here in the heat of Texas, as Oliver looks to dive down the inside of Perryland as we're going to head down the long back straight here. This is where some cars will have bigger straight line speed than others. Like Thunder Fox may be one of them. As he's going down the main straight, he's got good slipstream, he's got good usage of ERS. He must have dumped a bit of ERS to get past him there. And Thunder Fox into second place once again. He's ahead of Kimirai, as Fawaz is also involved. Wilton at the moment doesn't seem to have the same pace as his teammate because he can't seem to keep up with him right now.
No, not at all. It's not really what you want to see from Wilton right now. Of course, he could just be looking to hold up Perryland and let him Fawaz potentially go for the podium positions, and then he'll come back a bit later. He is definitely being pressured right now by Perryland, but we'll see. Fawaz is going to start pressuring Kimirai. Those hard tyres not really doing him any favours at this point in the race. Thunder Fox, its fastest lap on those medium tyres, a 1:37.2. That's a pretty good lap time for this early in the race.
Yeah, obviously very early days, but yeah, Kimirai not enjoying the hards at the moment. It's still solidly in 3rd place, but they're going to come into their own later in the Grand Prix. I imagine we're going to see a long stint on these hard tyres before heading onto, I imagine, softs or mediums. It'll be interesting to see what he decides to go for.
And as we see from this beautiful helicopter shot we've got right now, or it might be a drone, who knows. See the Aston Martin chasing McLaren, but getting pressured by Oliver behind in the Mercedes. And that Mercedes looks to be making a move now. It's going to be a move, and it's a spin from the Mercedes. Slight touches to try to go down the inside, and that's not what you want to see. And we're now going to have to wait as that Mercedes drops down to 10th place. Perryland makes a move on Wilton, and my theory of Wilton trying to hold up the Aston Martin is now falling apart. So soft dot tyres making the Aston run very efficiently.
That dive bomb from Oliver was definitely ambition ahead of adhesion right there. He looked like he dived on the inside of one car, and then he went for the double dive bomb, and he just wasn't going to make the corner ever, was he? He's now got to calm himself down, calm his tyres down. They're probably going to be slightly overheated. Just try and get back into the rhythm of it. I think that little collision has cost Wilton his 5th place. But now he's going to be within DRS of Perryland. DRS is enabled this lap. All he's got to do is just stick it nice and close to the car behind and not stress too much as Pockets looks to try and get a move on LDW here down the main straight and into the heavy braking zone of turn 1. He's going to make the move.
Another move into turn 1 is going to be Mick Schumacher ahead of Bloody Chen. Yes, it's a successful move indeed. Very, very clean. So we continue to see there's a 4-car battle right now for 8th position. It's going to be...
Juno's in this as well already.
Juno is in this. That pit stop appears to have worked. I mean, just sat at the back on the safety car. I'm going to have a yellow flag. Has there been a collision?
Between Juno and Oliver, yes, there has.
That isn't what you want to see.
The commentator's curse strikes again for you.
It's going to be a penalty given to the Mercedes driver. 5 seconds for causing a collision. Of course, stewards might make a different decision later on, but that's going to be straight down the inside. Wilton goes on Perryland. A brilliant move indeed. And I think Wilton now, those soft tyres starting to die off of Perryland.
Yeah, I imagine around now they will be struggling. Of course, we had a few laps behind the safety car, which would have preserved their life a bit, but they're still going to be on the struggle train for a little bit of time. You can see how wide of a line Pereland is taking there, just probably due to the lack of grip is running him out that wide to begin with. But Pereland now looking to keep close to Wilton, but he's got to worry about TMC behind him, who will also be looking to gain himself a few places because he's not had the best of races so far. Dropped it down at the start of the race, hasn't really recovered from there. It seems we've got a few packs right now. We've got the top four battling position, then we've got 5th, 6th, and 7th all together, and then we've got 8th, 9th, and 10th together, and then we seem to have the rest of the field all bunched up together. So right now, a few different packs going on, but a lot of battles to keep an eye on.
Striker Boy looked to be losing quite a bit of pace there, but Thunderfox just had a couple of bad lines through his corners, has managed to lose half a second. Kimirai now really on the offensive, wants to make use of those hard tyres while... I mean, they're not quite the optimal tyre yet. They will be in a couple of laps when his medium tyres start falling off for the lead runners. But Thunderfox there has the pace again, has the DRS. There's going to be a clean move on Striker Boy. And that's a brilliant move, all things considered. And the Red Bull driver now takes the lead.
Takes the lead indeed. He is in front of Striker Boy, and that is what we want to see.
Mick Schumacher and Pockets, I believe, just had a minor collision.
Just a minor one.
A minor one. No one spun. I don't think we've got any significant issues, but Mick Schumacher is now ahead of Pockets in 8th, and then LDW behind in 10th. I mean, LDW could have a good race here if he could get past these two drivers.
Yep, he can definitely get himself at least a couple of points, which would be great for himself and for Alpine, sorry, I should say. Pereland's doing a good job, still sitting in 6th place on those soft tyres. The real dark horse in this race is Kimirai on those hard tyres. It really depends how long they go.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see both Ferraris making positions further down, but appears to be continuing battle for that position, and it's looking like it's going to stay as is for now as they wait for their next opportunity. Of course, as I said before, going through the S's on an overtake isn't the most sensible idea. It could go very wrong very quickly. It's a bit like that section on Spa. You just don't want to make an overtake, or Maggots and Beckett's at Silverstone. You also don't want to be trying to overtake there. I mean, I've tried it before. It's just not sensible.
You don't want to make that. You don't want to make that decision. Do not do a Mackie.
It didn't end up in a collision. It did end up with me losing a couple of seconds, though. We do have a yellow flag into the second big hairpin. It looks like...
Bloody Chen's lost a bit of play. Yeah, Bloody Chen slowed down.
Looks like potentially... But here now, for 6th position, Pereland on the defence, has the inside line. Those soft tyres can't be lasted too much longer. TMC trying to make the move. TMC makes the move and fends off an exit from Pereland. Sorry, Pereland almost had a good exit, but slipped just a little bit. And Pereland now really struggling with grip.
Overheated tyres. I think that's probably the time to call it into the pits. Those tyres are really not in a good state. But no, maybe they're trying to just cool them down and go again. Blade Chain picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That's exceeding track limits, of course. So right now, this race, a little bit of the simmer. It's just simmering at the moment. It's ready to boil. And we're going to see how much it's going to boil over. With Thunderfox in the lead, followed by Striker Boy, and then Kimirai in 3rd for Waz and Wilson.
Juno, sorry to interrupt, but Juno, following that incident earlier, has now made a position up on Dr. Fails, up into 17th. Very clean, making sure to make good use of the DRS available. I think what we're just waiting to see now is for Striker Boy and Thunderfox's tyres to fall off, and then Kimirai is in the perfect position to strike. And in fact, might be striking now. That DRS wide open. Clearly has had a better exit, and now it's going to make the move into second on Striker Boy. Goes down the inside. Striker Boy backs off and concedes the position. That's going to be Kimirai into second.
Awesome. Kimirai into 2nd place. Wilton is now battling with TMC for what is 5th place. Wilson just once again not having the greatest of races this afternoon. After that first round, he just seems to have lost all his pace, maybe a bit of confidence loss as well, as we're going to see a great battle between the Williams and the McLaren, the two main contenders for the constructors this year. TMC is not going to get past him just yet, but I'm sure they'll have an opportunity down the main straight. As Kimurai's got to be a bit careful. He can't spend too much time battling Striker because he's going to lose DRS on Thunderfox.
Yeah, absolutely. As we continue to see this battle between Wilton and TMC, it's been going on for way over a lap now. As they go to turn one, that DRS didn't seem to work for TMC too much. Wilton had the better straight line speed, but as they go into the S's now, we'll see who has more downforce, who's going to get it best out on the exit of the S's. And it's looking like TMC lost a little bit of time. They had a little bit of a wiggle, and that's lost them a couple of attempts. That's not what you want to see. So we now go down to 10th. LDW and Splat Beef having a battle. So LDW wants back into the points. Of course, dropped down from the points earlier in the race. And it looks like backing off just a little bit. It gives a 7/10 gap to Splat Beef. I wonder if Splat Beef's managed to find a little bit more pace in those tyres at some point. The Aston Martins now appear to be following each other. I wonder if they'll start battling. We're now at lap 11. I don't expect these soft tyres to be lasting very long. In fact, that's going to show by Mick Schumacher going past Perryland, who's on those worn soft tyres. And I wonder if it's going to see an advantage for some drivers. But Splat Beef still making... Sorry, no, Splat Beef isn't on the softs. I don't think. No. Don't worry. But Splat Beef making a move on pockets up into 9th. We'll now go... find out 2.5 seconds to challenge the Aston Martins.
Well, of course, keep an eye on Mick Schumacher and Splat Beef because they are both two people that pitted under the first safety car. So they're on the younger set of medium tyres in this race. And in terms of other positions, TMC got past Wilson on that lap. Got about 5.8 seconds to the car in front now as Perryland dives into the pits for his pit stop of the soft tyres. Going to get rid of those. Now, I imagine that's going to be a pit stop to the end when they come back out. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. That is for Dr. Fails, I believe. So we'll see where he goes from there. And this has been a solid race so far for a lot of drivers. Everyone just sort of chilling and relaxing at the moment.
I think the initial worry of the start of the season has maybe ended now, and they've got into their rhythm for the season, and just getting on with it. They've probably been told by team principals to calm it down, not cause any unnecessary incidents. And this might be Kimi Räikkönen for the lead of the race. No, backs off just late, cuts across Striker Boy. That was almost a battle for the lead. Thunderfox has really got to worry now. I think these hard tyres are in their prime.
Yeah, I think they are really starting to get themselves moving up the grid. Let's see if Kimmerai can get himself into the lead of the Grand Prix here in COTA. But you got to remember that he can't push them too hard. He's got to try and keep them preserved because otherwise there is no advantage. He might as well have medium tyres on. If he's got this much pace, he's just wasting those hard tyres. He's still in DRS range. He's still in a really good position. So right now, all he needs to do is stick what he's doing. Wilson is making the first pit stop of the further ahead medium runners. Is that a bit of an undercut attempt, trying to tempt some people into a pit stop? Or maybe he's thinking for his own race, he's got to try and do this because he's not got a lot of pace on the mediums.
I mean, it must be an attempt. It's certainly showing that maybe the mediums won't go quite as long as we expected to, as we see LDW also pit, who I believe was on the mediums as well. So, I mean, we'll see how they get on later into this race, but I'm not sure. I believe they've put on the hards.
Yes, they have.
So that's an interesting decision. This is the advantage Kimi Rai currently has. Kimi Rai could go a few extra laps and put on the softs later on in the race, especially if we get a late safety car. This could all play into Kimi Rai's hands right now.
And Kimmerai has played even the hand even more because they now take the lead of the Grand Prix here in Texas. They are now leading on the hard tyre and will now be controlling the pace of the Grand Prix to their liking and to their tyres' liking. This has turned into a fascinating Grand Prix, and it always does in COTA. Tyres always play a big part in COTA. It'd be very interesting to see how much of a part they'll play here as Wilton is on the charge, making up one position there, up into 13th. Perryland making up position on Racing Mouse as well. So Perryland's medium tyres working out well for them. And right now, just still waiting. Lap 14 of 28 for Waz is into the pit stop now. So the other McLaren into the pits.
Indeed. So we will see how this plays out. Of course, we've got this top 3 battle right now of Kimirai, Thunderfox, and Striker Boy. And then we've got Fawaz, Splat Beef, TMC, Mick Schumacher, Pockets, Captain Kami, and Periland making your top 10, all currently in a position to score points. We see Periland chasing Captain Kami at incredible pace. It's going to be a move into turn 1. In fact, pulls ahead before turn 1, cuts across a bit aggressively, but it all seems to have worked perfectly there for Periland. That's going to be up into 6th.
Yeah, and a lot of people lost a few positions there because obviously they came into the pits. TMC very lucky not to get hit by Racing Mouse, who was just coming through turn 1. Fawaz came out in 5th place. Will now begin the charge to try and jump a few people in from jumping through people that are still leading the Grand Prix. As Thunderfox has once again moved back into the lead of the Grand Prix, doesn't want to be behind Kimirai, wants to control the pace for themselves. That's an interesting decision there, considering that those medium tyres surely will be going off in a lap or 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Thunderfox, this could just be a push lap from Thunderfox. He's going to pit at the end of it. Which is probably what my primary prediction is going to be for this as we come around now to the pit entrance. And he doesn't dive into the pit lane. Yes, he does dive into the pit lane. So that was definitely a push lap there from Thunderfox. Striker Boy enters behind as well. It's going to give Kimirai 13 seconds of clean air.
Yep, he is going to absolutely try and send it now. The interesting thing is, keep an eye on where Fawaz comes out now, because he's done his pit stop and he was very much in this battle. Is the undercut, as we know, is very powerful in this year's game. Is he going to be able to undercut these drivers here? We're going to have a look, see where they're coming out. They're just coming out down the main straight now. Periland's just set fastest lap of the race. Here's Fawaz coming down the main straight, and he's not going to be anywhere near them. Wow, that undercut, not as powerful around this year's circuit as I thought it would be.
No, absolutely not. And Striker Boy has what could be a good run on Thunderfox here. Going through the S's, Striker Boy seems to have the better setup for it, but has lost a little bit of line, loses a couple of attempts, but it's not the end of the world as he's going to just stay back a little bit, wait for Thunderfox to make a mistake, and then we'll jump at the next available opportunity for second position in this race. Of course, Kimirai may look like he has a very good lead right now, but it's realistically potentially putting him behind unless he can make a run for it now. Or we get a late safety car.
Yeah, Kimirai is really going to have the freshest tyres at the end of this Grand Prix, and probably the fastest tyres as well, depending on which he goes on to. I imagine we'll go to the mediums, as we see a great move there from Periland, pulls to the outside and gets in front of Fawaz, is now into 4th place. The mediums, even though they're 3 laps old, faster than the 1 lap old hard tyres that Fawaz is on. And is that the kind of difference we're expecting here from the mediums and the hards?
And it absolutely might be. Thunderfox absolutely making a charge on Kimirai right now. Wants to close that gap as much as possible so that if a safety car does come out in the next few laps, he's in his bestest position to try and cover it as possible. Because if right now safety car to come out, Kimirai would just enter the pit lane, get a free stop, and be still in the lead of the race with the freshest tyres.
Yeah, that is not what they wanted at all. But of course, even with without a safety car, Kimirai is in a brilliant position because he will have. He's clearly got the pace, and on a set of medium tyres, he surely will be able to jump, get back in front of a few people during the Grand Prix. Someone we got to mention as well, Mick Schumacher, just set fastest lap of the race. Brilliant pace from them in the Aston Martin. Their strategy has worked well. They pitted under the first safety car and has pitted again during the normal racing, and has still come out in 8th place with fresh tyres on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's currently a very good race for the Aston Martin driver. In fact, Aston Martin as a whole currently up there in 4th as well with Periland. And of course, this is after pit stop, so it's looking pretty good for them. Fawaz making a little bit of ground, but not too much that they'd be concerned just yet. As I yawn there. Yeah, I don't know why. We need to stop. I need to stop being tired for these races.
You take a lot of caffeine before.
I mean, I did. I drank I just downed a whole can of an unnamed cola because we're not sponsored, so I won't name them.
Not sponsored.
But,
Thunderfox picked up a penalty, by the way. He's picked up 3 seconds.
that could throw a spanner in the works of
As
Red Bull's race right now.
Kimura is in the pits, medium tyres on the Haas car. They are going to come out behind both Striker Boy and Thunderfox, but not by a lot. And on the freshest tyres, are they going to come in front of Periland, though? That's the interesting question. Into the braking zone, and Periland will have warm tyres, but won't get Kimurai. Kimurai now 2.6 seconds off the lead with the fastest tyres
I'm
and mediums.
I'm very interested on why that pit stop came then and not in a lap or two's time and throwing the softs on.
I think it's because the mediums just have incredible pace, and I think the softs, while yes, incredible pace from the first 3 laps, they will run out, and of course, the later you pit in this Grand Prix, the more time you've got to make up. Right now, Striker Boy and Striker Boy and Thunderfox are battling for position, and Kimurai is already right there. I think this could be game, set, and match in the next couple of moments. Striker Boy and Thunderfox surely got to try and work together to pull away from this massive threat that's coming in the mirrors.
Yeah, absolutely. Striker Boy wasting no time in clearing Thunderfox and now going to try build a gap. Anything to get away from Kimurai. Kimurai's pace right now, half a second in less than a lap.
Yeah, only 2 seconds off of the lead pack. Clearly had the pace and clearly wants to show it on those medium tyres. A little bit of a slidey moment there, but because those mediums are slightly cold, just going to get those occasionally. But that gap is coming down slowly, even without DRS connection. Kimurai is right in the hunt. 10 laps to go from this moment onwards. Still 10 laps to go. Still a long way to go in this race. But got to say, Kimurai is in a prime position to pick up a win here.
Yeah, absolutely. Kimurai now just needs to drive cleanly, not pick up any penalties. He's effectively second right now. As Thunderfox is carrying that, I believe it's a 3-second penalty. So
I would imagine so.
So we'll have to see. And Kimurai now goes to within 1.5 at the end of the S's, which is, I mean, not surprising. Those medium tyres have a lot more grip than those hard tyres do. And I think the only thing that's potentially going to save Striker Boy and Thunderfox here is that in 5 or 6 or so laps, the hard tyres will maybe slightly faster than the mediums.
But of course, you've got to remember those medium tyres are younger as well. They are a lot laps younger, as Thunderfox and Striker Boy swap positions once again. And Fawaz is in front of Periland as well. So maybe, as you said, those hard tyres already starting to perform better. TMC is in front of Wilson and in front of Mick, who is struggling to get his moves done. He's actually gone off circuit slightly. But Kimurai is into DRS range of the two in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be vital. So DRS detection zone for the main straight comes up now, and we'll see what is the timing looking like. Take a slightly more inside line just to try and hit that DRS zone. It's going to be 7 temps through the detection zone. So it's definitely going to have DRS down the main straight here. It's just solidified Kimurai's position in the fight for first.
It certainly has. It's really anyone's race here, but at the moment, Kimurai is in prime position. First lap of the race, he's in DRS. He has got everything he needs to win this Grand Prix. He just needs to overtake Striker Boy, and he's basically net race leader because of Thunderfox's 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, absolutely. That is... It's currently turned into a very, very impressive drive from Kimurai as we go through the amount of extra pace, the amount of extra grip Kimurai has through those S's is absolutely insane right now. So we go through another detection zone. It's going to be all 3 of them have DRS. This is going to turn into potentially a bloodbath. We will see. To go now, that DRS detection line looming. Now, Striker Boy, Kimurai, they have the DRS. It's going to be 2 attempts now for Kimurai. Kimurai pulls out. He wants the air. He's going to make the move. Not quite onto Striker Boy. He has to concede. He's not able to make the move this time around, but next lap, he's 100% got them.
Yeah, he really does. The grip is so there in the corners. It's ridiculous how much grip he's getting out of those medium tyres. He's missing maybe a bit of straight line speed. He might be running a bit of a higher downforce setup to enable him to make these turns as well as he's doing them. But that shouldn't really affect him in the long term. He is with it. He's with them until the end of this race. 8 laps to go once they've crossed the line. And 8 laps for Kimirai to pick up what will be a fantastic victory here at COTA. He's pulling out of the dirty air, doesn't want to get involved in overheating his engine or any of that guff. He knows what he needs to do, and he's in prime position to do it. He might wait until the last couple of laps to do it. To be honest with you, I think he's just preying on them.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. I mean, I'd sit in a DRS2 right now if I were Kimi Rai. We've had a moment into turn 1, it would seem, between a McLaren and an Aston Martin. That's going to be between Wilton and Mick Schumacher. Both Wilton are having the greatest race, Mick Schumacher having a better race than normal. Not exactly what to see. And Sniper has retired from this race in the pit lane, so we're not going to see a safety car, thankfully. But now Kimi Rai, that DRS open again. 2 tenths. It's going to go to just 2 tenths. 1 tenth. It's going to go. He's going to have to concede going into the corner. He is. He might put out. No, he's not. He's going to stay behind. It touches the back of Striker Boy's car, I believe. And that's not what you want to see. But it looks it's still under control now from the Haas driver.
He's left. He's left the session.
He's left the session. We seem to have connection issues. This isn't what Kimi Rai is going to want. Sitting in third position. They're going to lose a lot of time as the AI drives the car.
No. It was going so well. He's back in. He's back in. He's straight back in. Hopefully he can get back under control of his car. He's still in DRS range though, which is good. And I think he'll get back underway shortly. What Kimi Rai needs to do now is just get rid of that distraction that has tried to cause him losing the race and get back into the driving spirit. He's still got a really good chance.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only 6 tenths off, still well within DRS. So Striker Boy doesn't have DRS anymore. That is vital now for Kimi Rai's race.
That's huge. That is absolutely huge because it means that Kimi Rai can close up now a lot easier to Striker Boy because he doesn't have it doesn't have a pull along strategy, which is awesome.
Absolutely. Wilton losing the car a little bit in the S is going to lose a lot of time to Mick Schumacher. And I think right now the biggest battle we've got going on track is this battle between Kimi Rai and Striker Boy. Kimi Rai, if that DRS is going to be now. Kimi Rai makes the move. And that is a brilliant, brilliant move from Kimi Rai, making full use of that DRS and the tyre advantage. And now Kimi Rai has just got to chase Thunder Fox.
Exactly. That is his one goal right now. But he's still, let's be honest, he's still winning this race because of the 3 seconds. It's going to be very interesting now what Kimi Rai can do.
Absolutely. And if Striker Boy could stay with Kimi Rai, we couldn't easily gain an extra position as well.
Exactamundo.
Fawaz, though, 8 seconds back from this battle. Where has McLaren's pace gone this weekend? We've seen them be very strong up until this point. Obviously, 4th isn't bad, but they are 9 seconds off the pace. Where's it gone?
Well, that is the best thing. I don't know where their pace has gone. It seems that it has just dropped off a cliff this weekend. Obviously, it's a shame for Juno as well. He was clearly in this race before that accident. So it's definitely a bit of a weird race weekend. But Thunder Fox, Kimi Rai, and Striker Boy up there as we expect.
Kimi Rai back in the DRS of Thunder Fox, dragging Striker Boy along at least for now. But Striker Boy looks to be dipping out of that 1 second margin. This is giving Kimi Rai all sorts of advantages for this race. I think Kimi Rai is going to be absolutely enjoying this ride for the next 8 or so laps we've got in this race. It's not even 8 laps, it's a 28 lap race. This is the next 6 laps of this race. Wilton makes it back past Mick Schumacher. There's an incredible battle going on down there for the bottom points paying positions. Perrinan looks to be making looks to be battling for Waz as well. These Astons and these McLarens having to fight each other. But right now, on top, you've got Thunder Fox, followed by Kimi Rai and Striker Boy, your current top 3. Thunder Fox kind of 3 second penalty. Kimi Rai only half a second off and with a clear tyre advantage.
Well, it seemed that the hard medium strategy was the one to go for, because it's clearly worked out in Kim Rai's favour this afternoon, and he's moments away from taking the lead off of Thunder Fox. And I don't know if there's a lot Thunder Fox can do about it. And he's got his penalty as well. It's just all coming crashing down
We've
for Thunder Fox at the
we've
moment.
seen some great defending from Thunder Fox this season, but I'm not sure any amount of defending is going to be ready for what Kimirai going to throw at this battle.
Well, exactly. It's not. It's it's impossible to find out. It's impossible for Thunder Fox to defend this one because down this main straight with DRS, there's not really a lot he can do. He can pull to the inside and maybe get a couple of marbles on Kimarai's tyres, but I think the writing is on the wall for Thunder Fox now. As we head down the main straight, DRS is wide open here. And is Kimarai just going to pull alongside? No sticks behind them again. I guess at this point, Kimarai's thinking that they don't have to overtake them. They can win this race on track.
No, but
Not on track.
this isn't good for his tyres sitting behind him. He ideally wants to be ahead of him. At least for maybe a couple of laps, just to help those tyres cool down a little bit. They can't be doing too well at this point as we continue to also see a battle for fourth happening between Periland and Fawaz. Fawaz is now 11 seconds off the lead. I wonder if he's just slow because he's battling Periland right now. Trying to make sure he stays behind. But yeah, it just isn't quite the race Fawaz would have wanted, I don't think. I think he would have been liked to be up there in his battles. Kimirai now, potentially to turn one. No, not quite into turn one. He's going to have to go through the S's before any move is available to him. It almost look like he's going to go for it before the S's appeared. In fact, he looks to be having better lines than Thunder Fox. Thunder Fox very much on that defensive drive. Striker Boy just sitting at 1.6 behind. A mistake made from either of these two, and Striker Boy's straight back in it.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, that's probably one of the main reasons why Kimarai is not considering making the move unless they have a guaranteed pass on their hands, because they know one little spin and they drop behind Striker Boy, and then Striker Boy wins the race because of Thunderbox's 3-second time penalty, and it's really not worth risking losing a position like that. But here we go. Are we going to see the move on this occasion? 4 laps to go, and Kimarai pulls to the inside now, and Thunderfox, as predicted, doesn't really do as much as they could to defend, and Kimarai is into the lead of the US Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas here in Texas.
Absolutely brilliant, brilliant move from Kimirai. Made it look easy. I mean, I don't think Thunder Fox had much opportunity to defend, so didn't do so. I think his real battle's now with Striker Boy.
Yeah, if Striker Boy can find some pace, because to be honest with you, he's got to worry that Striker Boy has not got a lot of pace left in that Williams car. Thunderfox isn't exactly being dropped here by Kimarai, but I imagine Kimarai is just biding their time now. They know they've got time on their hands. Lap 25 of 28. We are getting very close to the closing stages of this US Grand Prix. Of course, the winner of the US Grand Prix and the rest of the podium sitters will be interviewed. And at the moment, unless anything drastic changes, it looks like these will be our top 3. It looks like also Periland has a real chance of getting past Fawaz for 4th place.
Yeah, absolutely. And that would be huge for Aston Martin, trying to pick up as many points as possible. I think also Haas potentially pick up the win here. I'm not sure what their championship's looking like right now, but I can't really think of any notable results so far this season. So this could be really good for Haas.
Yeah, well, it's great for Haas. Obviously, Haas being an American team as well in Formula 1. The only American team in Formula 1. Pick up a win in America. Thunderfox will get back past Kimarai, but again, Kimarai doesn't need to worry too much. Still has the advantage of a 3-second time penalty.
I think we're at the point now where those medium tyres, especially battling for that long, have been used up a lot, and the hards just have slightly more in them. But Kimirai has a DRS again, and in fact could just opt to stay behind, use that penalty to his advantage, and still get the win.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he is very much in the hunt for this win without even needing to do a flat-out overtake. I imagine he'll want to do it on track, but we'll see. And you can see Thunderbox really struggling to keep the track. sorry, keep the car going in a straight line.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Kimi Rai almost went for it again. But, I mean, it's honestly worth waiting for the second straight. You just got more time. You can get slightly further ahead before the corner. You're not really risking too much into it. As we go through the S's now, Kimi Rai clearly has more pace through the S's. You can see it's always a slight wobble after getting too close to Thunder Fox that caused him to lose a couple of attempts. Every single time I've seen the two of them go through the S's like that. We're on lap 26 of 28 in DRC Tier 2, Round 4, powered by Milestone. If you're ever interested, join any of the races. Join Discord at discord.gg/digital racing, and you can join the league potentially this season. I think this might still be slots as a reserve. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But obviously next season is always open for new applicants. And as we are now entering the final stages of this race. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 3. That looks like an Alpine that's potentially spun.
Yeah, Bloody Chan is spun in the final sector, but it doesn't affect anything because we are now at a point where the safety car will not come out. We are too deep into this Grand Prix. So we're actually going to end the race with only one safety car, amazingly.
When was the last time that happened in DLC?
I can't remember. That's how long it's been.
Mick Schumacher makes it up into 8th. It's going to be an extra couple of points. Pereland still down there in 5th. Kimi Rai, I think, has lost too much pace at this point and might have to concede to win him by penalty. Striker Boy, of course, being kept at a very decent pace behind, but it's still just about within that 3 seconds.
Yeah, just about in that 3 seconds. We've got another spin in the middle sector here for Bloody Chen.
This could interfere with the lead battle.
Well, I hope it doesn't. I would imagine he'll move out the way when blue flags get involved. I would hope that is what the plan is, because obviously I think he's been involved in another incident during this season already, so doesn't want to be involved in 2 incidents involving cars that have been lapped. So we're on the penultimate lap here. DRS is going to be enabled, and there we go. Blade Chen moves to the left-hand side and not getting involved in the lead fight. He doesn't have a front wing, so I'm not surprised that he doesn't want to mess with any of these guys. It just wouldn't make any sense either for him or for any of the lead runners. So Kim right now in second place. Still in second place, I should say. Going on to the final lap, I reckon he's going to have one attempt at getting past front of us. But Perryland is in front of Fawaz, and what a result that is for Aston Martin if he can keep in 4th place.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're on the penultimate lap of this 28-lap Grand Prix, it's looking good for Aston Martin, that's for sure. And it's looking even better now as we see LDW retire. We've had another Alpine spin in the S's. Are the tyres going on these cars now?
I think the tyres are starting to struggle. Of course, we are 13 laps on these tyres. Some drivers have run them slightly longer, but the mediums will probably be struggling a bit. It won't matter too much in the sense that we are now onto the final lap, and pretty much every position has been set in stone. But yeah, Pereland is going to be really struggling on those tyres. TMC just got into DRS range for Fawaz as well, so I don't count him out of picking up a surprise 5th place. But yeah, Pereland has got to be a bit careful now as you look Fawaz battling him into turn 1. That's going to open the door as well for TMC, who's right there as well. So keep an eye on that battle, as that's probably the spicy one as we come towards the end of this race.
I think also here, will Kimi Rai get Thunder Fox on track? This is the big question. It's pretty much his final opportunity to do it. So we go into the final DRS zone of this Grand Prix. He's gaining ever so slightly. I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Thunder Fox moving across the track. This is going to give Kimi Rai the outside line. It's going to be Kimi Rai ahead on track, back into the lead of the race.
Yep, Kimi Rai wanted to get that done on track just to make sure there is no problems in terms of removal of penalties or anything. That is not what he would have wanted. But in terms of the battle for 4th place, it is kicking off right now on the final lap. Here we go. It's Pereland. He's going to make the move down the inside of Fawaz, but Fawaz will break later to try and battle it out. TMC also getting involved in this fight for what is position, but down the inside goes Pereland, and through goes TMC. He's made the move on Fawaz. Will Fawaz let that one pass? But he's going to dive back off his inside. TMC will try and fight around the outside, but he can't. Kimi Rai wins the Grand Prix. Thunderfox in second and Striker Boy in third. And it looks like Pereland will pick up that 4th place. There is nowhere for Fawaz to get past in this final sector unless he dives one up the inside, but he won't do it there. So Perryland will come home with 4th place. Fawaz in 5th, TMC in 6th, and then you got Splat Beef in 7th. Juno, I think, will get... He might get a point, depending on what that time penalty is. I think he might just drop out of it. Juno comes home on track in 8th, but will drop to 10th. He does get a single point, so Mick Schumacher finishes in 8th, Wilton in 9th, and Juno finishes in 10th. 59 thousandths ahead of Pockets in 11th.
Absolutely. So Kimirai does win your US Grand Prix in the Haas home team victory here at the Circuit of the Americas. Thunderfox will take second and Striker Boy third. A good result for all three of them. And Perryland there gets fourth and Fawaz fifth. I don't think Fawaz is going to be too happy with that result.
No, not at all. Leader of the championship finishes down in 5th. Not going to be happy with that. I'm just going to grab the guys for interviews.
So as we just wait
Everyone
for
interviews.
Oliver to finish the race, and there we go. That has been your US Grand Prix with your podium of Kimirai, Thunderfox, and Striker Boy, and that's going to be Perryland getting driver of the day. And I mean, I think so. I think Perryland had a great race.
Yeah, I think Perryland had a great race as well. Great race for Aston Martin. I
But
would
of
agree with
course,
that.
the way the game calculates it only takes into account overtakes. Kimirai came out of nowhere in qualifying and stuck it up there and kept it up there and then won the race. Insane result for the Haas driver.
He did have an insane result. The top 3 that qualified did finish in the top 3 in the race, but just in a different order. Then obviously Perryland in 4th from 9th on the grid, and then Fawaz, TMC's Flat Beef. Mick Schumacher had a great race as well. Wilton and then Juno rounds out your top 10. So I'm just messaging people.
So that is your final finishing order. It is Kimirai, followed by Thunderfox, Striker Boy, Perryland, Fawaz, TMC, Splat Beef, Mick Schumacher, Wilton Wild, and Juno, your top 10, followed by Pockets, Captain Kami, Karumi, Racing Mouse, Dr. Fails, Oliver, Bloody Chen, LDW, and then Sniper and Corny did not finish the Grand Prix.
Very nice.
And only one safety car as well.
Yeah, only one safety car.
And we'll go into our interviews here momentarily as we just wait for them. We will be just a couple of minutes here as we'd like to get obviously we'd like to get Striker Boy first for
Well, he's there. I'll bring him in. Striker, congratulations, sir. 3rd place. Well done. Good race for you, but undone by strategy by the looks of it. Seemed hard medium was the much better choice in the end than medium hard.
Maybe, yeah. I think it was also pace. At the end, I was able to keep up with sorry, I forgot the name. I was able to keep up with the Thunder, but then as soon as he broke DRS, I was absolutely like a boat.
Well,
So
you still drove very well, picking up more points in terms of the championship battle. Fawaz didn't have the greatest of results today, so you will close in on him at the front of the driver standings, and of course, you and TMC both picking up good points for Williams as well. So we go to the next round in Silverstone.
yeah.
Are you a fan of that circuit, Striker Boy?
Home race, gotta like it, haven't you?
That's true. That is the rules. Home race, of course, the home of British Motorsport as well. So and Williams is home track as well.
Oh yeah, crap.
So you got to get a
Double.
1-2 there. That's what it is.
A 1-2.
Yeah,
Ah,
that's what I've heard your team principal's asking for.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
he told me
Let's hope he doesn't
personally.
put any money on that.
Yeah, he told me personally, and he said if you don't do it, then you're both fired.
I'll have you know, I've got a clause in my contract so he can't fire me. I came
Oh,
prepared.
yeah, but I have a clause in my contract where I can fire you.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
that's OP.
that's yeah. Scrub's great at writing contracts. Uh, I don't have that. I wish I did. But yeah, thank you, Striker Boy. Well done on your third place, mate. You're still closing on that. Another driver's title.
Thank you.
Right.
Hopefully
Thank you.
see you
Very
boys
good.
next week.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will, mate.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. So Thunder Fox is up next. Thunder Fox, congratulations on P2, my friend here at the USGP. Started on the front row, finished second place. Do you think at the end of the day it was just down to that strategy? Hard, medium seemed the better choice than medium hard.
No, to be honest, I think it's pace. Kimirai especially had an excellent pace on the hard. I do think the hards were slightly slower, but at the end of the day, I think he had a great pace, and once he was on the mediums, it was going to be really, really difficult to win it. I got a penalty, which obviously didn't help. So
Yep.
I'm still happy for P2 because still managing to get Striker Boy over 3 seconds wasn't easy at all. He also had really good pace today. So still pretty happy, but I don't know if there's much I could have done. Maybe being on the hards could have helped, but hard to say. I think Kimi really deserved it today.
Well, that's very sportsmanlike of you. But yeah, no, it was a great race. You three were really up there in terms of pace, so that was definitely good to see. Good result for Red Bull as well. For yourself, picking up more points for the team, because obviously you're in third place right now in the constructor standings, and yourself in sixth place in the driver standings. So a good result together. You go to Silverstone next weekend. Are you a fan of Silverstone?
Really excited to go to Silverstone, to be honest. I don't know if this time we're gonna have 100% races or not, and I don't know if this one is gonna be one of those. But last season that was the 100% race, I think. But regardless, sorry, what were you saying?
I'm not sure. I don't know if that is true.
I don't think we are this season.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. But anyway, looking forward to Silverstone. It's always a great track, and I really like driving that. So I have high hopes for it.
Well, thank you, Thunder Fox. Congratulations on P2, mate. I'm sure we'll speak to you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Thunder Fox. And we're going to bring in your race winner, Kimarai. Congratulations, my friend, on picking up the win for Haas. How was that race for you? Seemed like your strategy was perfect in the end.
Yeah, it was actually very nice. At least was how I expected it to be. I practiced a little bit just like an hour ago before the race. I wasn't even in the race, so I messaged Edgin because Alessandro on short term pulled out of the race and said he can't drive. And before I start looking around for reserve drivers, which I missed at the start of the season, I decided to just put myself in the reserve driver seat and place myself in the car. So yeah, it was actually really nice. Starting on the hards, opposite strategy to the top guys. I was surprised I could stick with them. Also in qualifying already with the pace at the front. Congrats to Striker. I think he's just about lost P2 there in the end when he's dropped DRS. Yeah, it was good race to be coming back after like what 7 months or something of not racing in DRC. So it was good.
Well, it looked very competitive. Yeah, it seemed that strategy seemed to work really well in the end. The hard medium. But yeah, I think it's one of those tracks where if you just stick within DRS, you've got a real good chance of keeping with the cars in front. And you guys were all very similar pace, so it all seemed to work out in the end. But if I don't know if you'll probably not be racing next week, I imagine, but you'll probably be racing in
Depends.
tier. You might. Well, if you are you racing tier one anyway, or div one?
Yeah, not sure yet. It depends on what administration decides over my pace if I stick in tier two. Because I'm not very used to the game at the moment. It's just lucky that USA to COTA is a good track for me, so that might have favored myself a little bit. But general pace is not that very nice, especially in Silverstone next week. Um, but we'll see if there's a space free in my team. I'll obviously take it for tier 1 as well as with tier 2, but yeah, not sure yet. I hope I
Well,
don't need to.
Well, maybe we will, maybe we won't. But thank you, mate. Congratulations on your win. Good points for Haas as well. So well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Right. And Mackie, that is the end of another interview section and another end of a DRC stream. Give us your outro. You know what to do.
Yep, that was a very good race, and obviously powered by Milestone. That was round 4 of season 9, tier 2. Tier 1's tomorrow, commentated by Wilton, who you saw in that race there. Of course, you can find more information about results and everything at discord.gg/digital racing. Join there. You can also join as a driver at any point in the future as well. Follow us on Instagram at Digital Racing Championship. But we've got a website link down below that's got other stuff as well. So do all of that, and we will see you next time for the British Grand Prix. And that's done from us. Bye.